My video for November the 2nd, 2019 is video number 3255. The title is Sitting in Silence. It used to be that I had somewhat of a social life. I enjoyed going out and dancing. I enjoyed going to hear my son play in his band. For the past months, I have not been able to do either. I lost my dance partner, and the leader of my son's band is taking some time off to get his doctorate degree. My social life is virtually non-existent. Frankly, I feel very lonely and unfulfilled. Whatever connection I once felt with God does not work for me anymore. Yes, I still go to the mission every week. I still attend music night here at the apartments. I still go for my daily walks in the park. Yes, I still go to the discussion groups twice a week. Of course, I still make my videos every day as well. There simply is very little joy in my life. Most of my time is spent alone in my apartment, reflecting on my life and re-examining my choices. I used to think I was a loving person, but frankly, I'm not even sure of that anymore. I do not like the world in which I live. I feel we have been abandoned by what I've long believed was a loving God. Prayers continue to go unanswered, and the quiet times seemed fulfilled with much sadness. Where's the joy? Is fulfillment even possible on this God-forsaken planet in turmoil? Will the sadness ever be turned to joy as I thought we were promised? So many questions, few answers. It has been a long and uneventful day since I got back from my walk in the park. And yes, I hug my tree every day, which I didn't say in the blurb, but that is part of my routine. And I ask to be grounded and elevated. And I ask that not just for myself, but for all of humanity. I really thought that I was here on a mission to help bring the kingdom of heaven to earth so that all of humanity could enjoy peace and could enjoy the discovery of lost talents, gifts, and abilities that somehow were taken away from us so that we no longer had the ability to transcend a physical dimension, if you will, and actually be able to rise into other dimensions through actual experience. And I've had some experiences that were mind-boggling earlier in my life. I wish I could have some of them again now, but perhaps because I've lost faith, there are no answers. And people say, well, that's because you're not believing. Well, I believed most of my life, and I didn't get the answers that I expected back then either. You know, I did have some miracles that seem to have occurred from time to time, but I still have numb feet, and my prayers for the past 4 years have not been answered. I still cannot, I've lost the stamina. I can't dance like I used to dance, but I don't dance at all anymore because my partner, my dance partner, no longer goes with me because the band that we went to listen to all the time criticized me, and I'm willing to forgive them. She's not willing to forgive them. So I no longer have that social outlet that I once had. And as I said, my son's leader of my son's band is getting his doctorate degree. So they've taken a number of months off. What is it? It's been 4 months now, I think, or something like that. And they don't plan on resuming till January. And what was it, July? I guess it might have only been July that they stopped. I don't remember the exact date. In any case, my life has really gone through a lot of changes in the past months. And that's probably been reflected in many of my videos as I struggle trying to come to grips with the fact that things that I thought were sure promises, that by 2012 we were going to see positive changes. And people are saying, Ron, there are positive changes happening. Yeah, well, maybe there are. There's certainly promises of changes happening, but promises aren't reality. They're pie in the sky. They're wishful thinking. They're not something that's tangible and beneficial for the majority of humanity. And apparently, the dark forces are further entrenching themselves in their game, in their scam, and making it more and more difficult for people to wake up and tell the truth. Despite that, it does seem like some people at least seem to be waking up to the fact that we have been scammed. We have been defrauded of our inherent rights as human beings by this cabal that has set a legal system in motion that absolutely is unlawful according to natural law. They are operating maritime law on the sea, on the land, which is against the rules, folks. But who enforces the rules? Certainly God doesn't enforce rules. Certainly God doesn't take any stand, which could be easily taken just simply by empowering those with good intentions, those with a heart that wants to love. And I sat here all day trying to be in silence and saying, I'm listening for you, God. I'm listening for answers. But nothing came. Nothing happened. Every time I'd catch myself maybe dozing off a little bit, I'd shake myself and say, I want to just stay awake and I want to get answers, but nothing came. Nothing's been coming for a long time. And yes, it's frustrating, demoralizing. And I have friends that are saying, well, this is just an illusion. This is not the reality. The reality is some other dimension. So I guess then the answer is to die, right? But I don't want to die. I want to live. I want to live to see fulfillment of the promises while I have a body, while I have my identity. I don't want to lose my identity. That is not something that I think is worthwhile to attain, where I forget who I am and I blend in with nothingness or everythingness, depending on which way you want to look at it. And I just become part of this mass of nothing or mass of everything. Well, I'm already part of everything. I'm already engulfed in that, whether I want to be or not, but it doesn't feel right. It doesn't seem good. And so I struggle and I long for the joy that, there were periods that I actually did feel joy. And some of my friends are finding relationships and stuff like that are fulfilling for them. Well, I don't have any close friend relationships. Even, as I said, even my dance partner, I see her from time to time, but she doesn't have any intention of going dancing with me again. She doesn't want to forgive them for what they did to me. I'm willing, as I said, but she's not. And I can't force anybody's hand. When I try to allow free will to be free and to make choices. And the one time in my life that I still remember where I violated someone's free will, and I've talked about that briefly or mentioned it in other videos. I have still carry some guilt for that. I don't even remember the lady's name, but when she said stop, I didn't want to stop. Anyway, folks, as you can see, I'm rehashing my life and looking at many things. I have a lot of questions. I have very few answers that are satisfying. And when I meditate, it doesn't feel like I'm connecting as I would like to connect. Thank you, folks, for listening, and namaste.